The Treeview widget lets you customize the colors of the heading. For example, you can make the heading go from this to this. I'll show you how to change the colors of the heading in a Treeview widget. I'll also show you how to change the color when the mouse pointer hovers over the heading. Join me as we further explore the Treeview widget in Tkinter.
Hi, my name is Jobin, and I'm an open source developer. My channel is called JobinPy, and it's all about Python and Linux. Welcome to JobinPy. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to change the colors of the heading in a Treeview widget, specifically the background color and the foreground color for the text. Okay, so we can get started on the code. So we have some standard Tkinter code here. So I'm importing Tkinter as TK. And from Tkinter, I'm importing TTK. And the reason why we have to import TTK is because the Treeview widget is a TTK widget. Okay, so we're creating our main window and we're starting our loop. And we're going to put our code in between these two lines here. Okay, so let's create our Treeview widget. So I'm going to say Treeview vehicles equal ttk.treeview. So we're going to put that into root, and then we can pack it onto the screen. So we'll say fill equal tk.both, expand equal true. Okay, and let's just run this to see what we have. Yep, so we have an empty Treeview widget. Okay, so now we need to define the column names. So we'll put in column names equal, and we'll make this a tuple. So the very first column will be created by Tkinter automatically because the first column is a tree column. And I'll show you what I mean. The first column will be vehicle type. The next column will be vehicle name, then year, then color. Then we need to pass the column names into here when we're instantiating our Treeview widget. We'll pass in columns equal column names. Okay, so we'll just run this to see what we get. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 columns. I've only defined 3 columns here. And this is the first column that I was referring to. This is the column that Tkinter creates automatically. And this is essentially the tree column. So we're going to make this the vehicle type. This will be vehicle name, year, and color. Okay, so we should put some text in those columns. And we'll use the heading method to accomplish that. So Treeview vehicles.heading, and the column that we want to change, in this case it's going to be the very first special column that Tkinter created for us, and we reference that with number symbol and then 0 as a string. Then we'll say text equal vehicle type, and this is what the user will see is vehicle type, which is why I'm putting a capital V and a capital T. Okay, so I'll show you what we have so far. So we have vehicle type here. And to carry on with the rest of the columns, next one is vehicle name, and the text will make it vehicle name. Next one is year, and the text will be year. And the last one will be color. And I got to put text equal. And we'll run this to see what we get. There we go. So now it's time to change the way the heading looks. And we can do that with TTK styles. So here we can say style equal ttk.style. And then we continue on and say style.configure treeview.heading. Make the background light green. Let's just put it on two separate lines so it's easier to see. And we'll make the foreground text gray. Okay, so now if we run this, let's see what we get. There we go. So the color's been changed. So we just have to use style.configure and then treeview.heading. And I'll show you how I got treeview.heading. But first, you can notice that there's some borders here in between each of the columns. To prevent those borders from showing, or those separators from showing, we have to carry on with the style and put relief equal flat. And if we run that, we get a more modern design. So now we have some flat headers at the top. Okay, so another thing I wanted to mention is relief equal flat. There are other options you can use for this as well. And those options are flat, raised, sunken, groove, and ridge. So those are all the other possible values that you can put in here. And you may need to experiment to see which design you like best. And to find treeview.heading, you can look into the documentation, and it shows you all the different style sections that you can alter. So if we go to the documentation page for the Treeview, we can see here that it says the class name for TTK Treeview is Treeview. The Treeview header class name is heading. So knowing this information, we can use treeview.heading to alter our heading, because the heading is essentially this part at the top. So this is the heading. So some other parts that you can alter are item and cell. So you can essentially use treeview.item and treeview.cell, but in this example, in this video, we were interested primarily in treeview.heading. And this information can be found on tcl.tk, the website, and I'll put the URL down in the description. Okay, so going back to our code, one thing I should mention in this section, when we're configuring treeview.heading, this will change the design of all the tree views in your application. But what if you only wanted to change the colors of a heading for one specific tree view and not all the tree views of your project? So to do that, you would have to derive from treeview.heading by putting in a custom name in the beginning. So in this case, I'm going to put my.treeview. So this will be my version of the Treeview style by just putting in my. And this isn't a keyword or anything. This is just something I've made up. You can put, test.treeview, and this will just be unique to just this. But I'm just going to use my just as an example. And if I actually run this, it shouldn't look light green and gray. We should get the classic look. Let's just run that to see. Yep, and it's back to the classic look. So here, when we're instantiating our Treeview widget, we have to pass in style equal my.treeview. And if we run this, now we have our look back, with the advantage that this style is specific to my.treeview, not every single tree view in my Tkinter application. So I'm going to show you how this style, my.treeview.heading, is being applied to one specific Treeview widget. So I'm going to add a second Treeview widget to the window. So I'm going to say treeview2 equal ttk.treeview. I'm going to put this into root as well, and I'm going to give it the same columns as the other Treeview that we have. Then I'm going to pack this onto the screen. fill equal tk.both, expand equal true. If I run this, this is the bottom tree view, the new one that we just made. It doesn't have any text, but that's okay. It's just for illustration purposes. This heading is using the classic style, and our previous tree view is using the new style. So with the new tree view that we added, if we add style equal my.treeview, then this will also have the same style as the other tree view. Okay, so I'm just going to remove the new tree view that we just added, so we're back to this screen. You'll notice that when I hover my mouse pointer over the headers at the top, the color changes. You can actually change that so that it changes to a different color, or you can make it appear like it's not changing at all. And I'll show you how to do that. So here you can specify style.map and the section that you would like to alter, so my.treeview.heading. And you can continue on and say set the background to something else if the mouse pointer is hovering over the header. So to do that, we say background equal, and then we create a list. And inside the list, we make a tuple. So we'll say active, and let's just put light green. So this is saying that if the mouse pointer is over the heading, and that's what active means. Active means that the mouse pointer is over a section specifically, in this case, treeview.heading. So if the mouse pointer is over the heading in the tree view widget, make the color of the heading light green, which is going to be the same as what we have when it's not hovering over the heading. So I'll just run this so you can see an example. So now if I hover my mouse over the top, nothing changes. And I can change the color. I can set this to blue, just so you can see what effect this has. So now if I hover my mouse, it changes to blue. And that's what active means here. It means hover over. And what's interesting now is if I wanted to get the current value of the background when the mouse pointer is over the heading, I can also use style.map. I can print it. I can say print style.map my.treeview.heading, and specifically the background. So if I run that, you'll see here at the bottom it says active and blue. So that's how you can get the current setting of the background using style.map, and when the mouse pointer is over it. And if I don't actually specify style.map, if I don't change the background color when the mouse is over it or when it's active, you'll notice that if I rerun this now, the value will be just an empty list. So this basically covers how to change the colors of a heading in a Treeview widget.
We saw how to change a heading's colors in a Treeview widget using TTK styles. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Until the next tutorial, thanks for watching.